I'm the coach. You're locked into the NFL on EA Sports. On deck, we've got what should be a great matchup between the Detroit Lions and the Denver Broncos. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
Well, Coach, we've had a driving rainstorm make its way through the plains, and it definitely is going to be a factor here this afternoon at Empower Field at Mile High in Denver. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Detroit Lions and the Denver Broncos. And hello again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And, Charles, we look at this Bronco team. They coming off their very first loss of the year, suffered a week ago.
Yeah, it will not be a perfect season, but I'm interested to see how they bounce back now that they know that chasing the 1972 Dolphins is out the window.
Meanwhile, for the Lions here, it's late in the year. We all know it. We've seen the calendar for these guys. Their bodies could probably use a break, but they have to push on.
And they're really not as worried about that as maybe we think. They know they've got the entire offseason to rest. All they care about is the game in front of them and finishing strong.
Season is upon us. We've got the gift of the NFL as we're underway here in Week 16. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. So here are the Lions now coming out for their opening drive. They'll be led out by their 6'5 quarterback out of North Dakota State. It's Carson Wentz.
Coming off of a loss their last time out, I think he's just seeking to make a bigger impact on the game. He threw a touchdown pass, didn't throw an interception. I think he just wants to jump those numbers up in terms of flinging it around and letting his receivers get into the end zone.
Wentz now on first down. He's got Njoku, his big tight end. Only a couple for him there on the game's first play, and it's second down. And the big boys up front in the trenches. What do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down. So first carry now for Doug Martin. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up third down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. So trouble already here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 9. Now some movement before the snap. And we'll hear from our referee for the first time this afternoon. That's on Juwan Taylor, 2nd-round pick from Florida.
Still 3rd down.
So the false start certainly doesn't help matters as they'll try again now, 3rd and long. Working from the gun, Wentz. The open man here, Renfro.
There's an example of good situational football being played by a defense. They understood where the 3rd down play was, the down and distance, and made sure that they didn't get anywhere near that, bringing up 4th down.
Yeah, they were sniffing out that marker, didn't want to let him get close to there, and now a likely 3 and out to start.
Yeah, I love the way they rallied to the football and got to him and made sure he didn't give up much run after catch.
On 4th down, here's Brian Anger now to kick this one away. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. On the return, Jackson. Give them 11 yards that time on the return. And the Broncos take over. First down and 10.
Set. 60 outlaw. Shoot.
They'll run here with a former Steeler. This is Le'Veon Bell. And he'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6. The numbers for Bell on the ground in the game last week. 11 carries, 85 yards.
And a rushing title is definitely within sight, so the excitement on the offensive side of the football, I mean, they're bouncing off the walls wanting to get out there, but they also understand that they're going to face some really stacked defenses down the stretch because they don't want it to happen at their expense.
On second down now, it's Bell. It'll only be a gain of a yard, and it sets up a 3rd down and 4 now. The offensive starters now for the Broncos.
Two-time All-Pro center Jason Kelsey is one of the most athletic centers in the league. In fact, he went to the University of Cincinnati as a walk-on linebacker before converting to the offensive line. Can pull, trap, get out in front of runners in any situation, and one of the more intelligent centers in the league as well, handling all their line calls.
Give him 8 yards on the play, and they pick up the first.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
Yeah, that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there. Yeah,
I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Here's Bell. And able to get a couple as he's across the 40 to the 41. Time for a look at our starters here on defense. They've been pretty solid against the pass. Toward the middle of the pack, number 14 in the NFL.
Take those rankings, throw them right out the window. Because this is what you prepare for. This is what you practice for. This is what you think about. The ultimate test, taking on the #1 overall offense in the league.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
Watch the screen. Watch the screen. Watch the screen.
This is Bell. Good work to pick up 7 yards there. That gets him into a 3rd and 1 situation.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
They'll try and run for it with Bell. And he will have the 1st down as he's brought down up near midfield. He needed a yard, that's what he got, and it's going to earn him a new set of downs.
Well, that was big right there, because they're in the bottom 5 in the league in converting on 3rd down. They needed that pickup in a big way.
There were 2 things they said they wanted to win in this game. One, the turnover battle, and the second, 3rd down conversions. So they got one there.
Here we go. 10-2 stop.
Hill on 1st down. The connection made. It's Graham. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. That one going for a gain of 11 and a Bronco 1st down.
I don't believe that this opening drive is surprising to either one of us after the time we spent with the coaching staff and players prior to the game. What about you?
Absolutely. Not only that, but that big article in the paper this morning about their philosophy on starting games like you're shot out of a cannon, and that's what they've done. Very methodical here on this first drive.
Yeah, so many teams talk about that fast start. We're actually seeing it happen right here in front of us.
But now the kicker, can they cap it off by putting the ball in the end zone?
Slant route's effective no matter who's running the route and catching the ball. But when you have a receiver of that stature, you have to be a little bit more precise throwing it. You don't have the same catch radius with the bigger targets.
You remember me? You remember
They'll run with a former Super Bowl hero. It's James White. And a nice move will yield nothing as he's stopped behind the line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd and 11.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11.
Deep grip.
Here's Hill. And Walker has it. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. 18 big yards on that one, and a Denver first. How about the start throwing the football? 4 for 4 on this opening drive.
Oh, he's slinging it. And oftentimes when you talk about slinging it, you're thinking about a guy throwing it all over the yard, not necessarily accurately. In this case, though, he's honing in on his targets, and he's delivering.
Yeah, the opening script, however, they drew it up for this first drive, going to plan so far.
Come on, set. 18 Gator.
3 buds.
5.
Now a first down carry by Bell. Now Bell hit. He lost the football. And this is scooped up by the Lions. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And hopefully for both sides, not a sign of things to come, Charles. This morning, it was so perfect outside, but we knew this weather was coming, and we see the effects of it here early on.
And I wonder if how perfect it was this morning has psychologically fooled everyone. You know, it's almost like even though we were told the weather was coming, and you know the teams knew it as well, then maybe they got fooled and thought, it's going to be okay. And now they're probably a little upset that it's out there.
We're dry.
Oh, well, dry. Now you've got to make the change up, and it's the first quarter. Might take them a little time to settle in on their focus and concentration.
And here's a look at the defense for Denver.
Strong safety Sean Williams really bounced back from injuries in previous seasons to post one of the best years of his NFL career. 5 interceptions in 2018, led the league in interception return yards, provides great veteran leadership, and some real thump coming from his spot in the secondary.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
Man, I got you.
Wentz. This is the tight end, Njoku. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. First down, Lions on a pickup of 13.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
Now a throw here going to be taken in by the tight end, Njoku. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
Hey, switch gears.
First out, here's the run with Martin. And he's got it across midfield and into Denver territory. The numbers on the ground for Martin a week ago. 3 touchdowns on the ground, and then, Charles, he threw one in through the air for good measure.
Yeah, you know you have to account for him in all situations. I mean, we know he can run the heck out of the football. You just noted what he did. But how about him being able to get out of the backfield, catch it, and get into the end zone as well?
To throw on 2nd and 6. Wentz. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field, it's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch it. Doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense, because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
Yeah, he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. It's a gain of 10 for the Lions and a first down. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down. To throw, it's Wentz. Got an open man. That's David Njoku, the tight end. He'll get 17 that time, and the Lions have a 1st down. 5th catch of the game for him there.
Yeah, and the tight end position is now becoming a volume pass catcher. Used to be occasional, right, safety valve. Throw one to him every so often, but mainly they want him out there to block. Nowadays, an integral part of the passing game, and they create such great mismatches that they often become the leading receiver.
Wentz going to lead his guys up 1st and 10. And he's 5 for 6 now throwing the ball on this drive. They run. Martin. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. Pretty effective run there, and now they can start to smell that end zone.
Pound the rock. Make sure you use your O-line to set the tone of dominance and physicality, and pound the rock.
On 2nd down, it's Martin. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage.
That's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
A nickel set defensively for the Broncos here on 3rd down. From the gun, it's Wentz. And he's got his man. It's caught for a Lion touchdown. Corey Davis, his 3rd touchdown now on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. This is a crew. They've come out flat their last 2 games, both losses, but just judging by the energy level, they look different here early, and that touchdown shows how.
Yeah, it seems to me that touchdown gets them off the treadmill. Because, you know, you've been on the treadmill. I've seen you work out. You go forever and ever, and it tells you you've gone somewhere, but you really have. You're in the same spot. They've exchanged it for an escalator. Still got some hills to climb, but they can get there.
These are good analogies. I run outside sometimes, though. You know, get some fresh air, a little sun on your face.
A little wind in there.
Yeah, that's right. The point after through the raindrops, up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. So that one a long 11-play drive. And the end result, a Detroit touchdown. After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away. This is fielded at the goal line. He'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. So the Broncos come back out as we give you a look at the playoff race in the AFC. And with teams jockeying for position, one thing we do know already, they're all set. They've got the #1 seed in their back pocket with still 2 games to go.
And that gives you a chance to experiment a little bit as well. It doesn't mean that you just have wholesale changes, starters don't play. I'm not talking about strictly that. I'm talking about guys who maybe haven't played enough during the year. Or you want to see them in different spots. You know, can that running back split out and catch the football a little bit as you head to... playoffs. Maybe you run a few plays to put them on tape and make your opponents watch them and say, oh, we got to prepare for that. A lot of ways they can go, knowing that they own the #1 spot.
Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks.
Ready?
To throw on 2nd and 6. Hill. And this is caught by Watkins. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports.
Ready, break. Mike by 4. Hey, here we go.
They'll try to pick this up on the ground with White. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. In trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
Back to throw. Hill under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Demario Davis coming in for the sack that time. So they take a big chance here in their own territory, and you think the coach may have some questions to answer?
Yeah, and, normally we focus on the media, right, the social media.
There he goes left side, and he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. Carson Wentz with 2 first-half touchdown passes, and the Lions are able to extend their lead. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown. Gold with the extra point, and that'll make the score 14-0. After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away. This fielded at the 2. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. One of his main targets, Delaney Walker, the intended receiver. And that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down.
Come on, QB.
From the gun, here's Hill. He's going to let into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Brad McDougal, and his guys will take over at their own 44-yard line.
And Brandon, the passing game for both of these teams is going to be affected as the game goes along. It's not looking like the rain's going to let up anytime soon, so that might mean a few more wobbly passes and wide receiver slips. And this one winds up getting intercepted.
And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. He'll get a dozen there, and the Lions have a first down.
And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. This defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
On 1st and 10, here's Wentz. His throw incomplete. Something we haven't really seen much of from him, an incomplete pass.
Yeah, last week he finished at 70%. This week he's up over 80%. I don't know how you slow him down. Pass rush is usually the best way because a quarterback on his back usually can't complete a pass.
They'll give him a yard on the play, and just like that, it's 3rd down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Now Wentz. And he's going to be hit and taken down. Back right around the 48-yard line.
Got to give him points for the attempt, but there's just a wave of pressure there. A host of people in the area. Evades a few, but couldn't evade all of them.
Here's Brian Anger now, as he'll punt it away for the second time. He'll send this one into the mile-high air, and it's a good one. Yeah, that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. Now out comes their leader and the captain of this offense back onto the field. He's got to dig deep here, doesn't he? Team's losing. He's not playing well either.
And they always tell you, don't press. You'll make things a little bit worse. But in this particular situation, you try and heighten your play a little bit. So far, he's thrown one interception. He wants to balance that off with at least one touchdown pass in order to get his team back moving forward.
The catch and run there, good for 16 and a first.
Let's go! Let's go! Let's go!
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And using that speed there to turn it into a pretty nice little game. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Cut! Cut! Cut!
First down, here's White. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
And taking it across midfield and inside the 45.
I'm okay with the call there. In fact, I actually like it. I know we're down a couple of scores, but the running game worked in that situation. I would continue to go in that direction.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
218, chop, 5.
Here's Hill. It's caught by Jackson. And he's going to get this inside the 30. It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Bronco first down.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Look pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
This quarterback now 7 of 10 here in this first half, and he's got a 1st and 10. Out he goes, Hill, and he'll hit his tight end, Walker. And finally down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. The end result, 21 yards.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. Had a little arc on it. He's got to find a way to get his head around to make a play on the football.
2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal.
Ready?
Now it's Hill. Forced out to his left. And now he's going to use his left. Touchdown, Broncos.
But this was a pass all the way, but he just kept buying time, didn't he? It was kind of like, wait. Oh, it's open. Time to hot-foot it and go. And, boy, was he successful.
Yeah, didn't go to the outside toward the pylon, just straight ahead, middle third of the field.
Shortest distance between 2 points. Straight line.
Now Greg Zuerlein on for the extra point. And that one makes it 14-7. That drive goes 80 yards in 6 plays. And in the end, it's capped off by a 7-yard run. Now after the touchdown, it's Zerline. He'll kick it away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Carson Wentz, along with his offense, heading back out there for their next possession. And he's been good. 2 first-half touchdown passes, no interceptions so far.
Does a lot for your confidence. Does a great deal for your team. Gives them a lead, and they're feeling really good about how they're playing. think he expects to throw at least another one.
I was going to say, now he wants the first half hat trick, doesn't he?
Oh, without a doubt. Go ahead and fling him on the field, folks. He wants that type of celebration.
They start the drive with Martin. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. It's a gain of 10 for the Lions and a first down.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Here's Wentz to throw. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Wesley Woodyard, he does a little bit of everything, and this time he gets the sack.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Now Wentz. Hey, right on cue. They set up the screen and complete it. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22.
Time to give a little credit here. That was an excellent read by the guys on the defensive side of the ball.
Oh, you're crediting your defense.
Got to credit them on that one because they tried to fool them, right? Tried to trick them. Ran a screen, and they went to it and smothered it for a loss of yardage.
On 3rd and long, it's Wentz. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Credit the sack to Von Miller.
That's 3 sacks now, and that's not much of a surprise to me, nor should it be to you. This team, they lead the league in sacks.
Yeah, they do. This is something that we are starting to witness time and time again. Here's Brian Anger now, standing just about on his own goal line. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Here's Jackson. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And Denver getting set to take the field. They had to go a long way on their last drive to score the touchdown. This time they get at least a little bit more of a cushion with field position.
I have to think that with this field position, after what they did on the last drive, they might want to take a shot right now and try and cut down the length of the drive.
Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 42. They start the drive with White. Slipped one tackle, but no more as he's knocked to the deck behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Part of the thinking when you bring in extra tight ends, you're hoping that each of your guys gets those one-on-one blocks and creates a crease for your runner. You know what the converse is, though? You've got to win those one-on-one blocks, and when you don't, that's the result you end up with.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Back to the ground, this time with Bell. 38 yards on the scamper there.
Let's go, boys. Bring it up.
I know the game continues to evolve, and we have a lot of exotic stuff nowadays. I can't help it. I love a good old-fashioned draw play.
Who's typically fooled on defense on a play like that, a successful draw play?
Typically, it's the defensive line that's fooled because they're just pinning their ears back and going after the quarterback. And once they create some space and you get past them, you usually have a long way to go.
And they'll keep it on the ground with Bell. And he'll get this one down to about the 17. The former Charger All-Pro Eric Weddle on the...
They went right back to him, but he pretty much had nowhere to go on that play.
Yeah, the previous carry looked pretty good. That one, he was a little tired. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe he should have tapped out and had a second back come in and maybe make that run. Who knows?
This is caught. Watkins. And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. That gain of 15 gets him on the doorstep, 1st and goal.
Partner, they weren't quite in the red zone, but things are starting to get condensed on the field. Throwing the quarter route there. Really nice play because it gives him a little bit of room to complete it.
A shotgun snap for Hill. And this is caught by Watkins. Touchdown, Broncos. Sammy Watkins with touchdown number 7 on the year. As they are an extra point away now from tying this football game. On those slants, everything happens so quickly. What makes it work?
The timing between the passer and the receiver. In this case, a slant route. Ordinarily, it's probably about 3 steps before you go on the slant. In this amount of time, I think it was a 2-step deal. Boom, put his foot in the ground and got inside for the pass.
Got inside for the pass, got inside for the catch and the score. Zerline now for the PAT. And we've got a good one brewing. We're all knotted up at 14. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And it ends with a Denver touchdown. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. It's time for our player spotlight right now as we get a look at Carson Wentz. And maybe he's starting to wave the white flag a little bit. He's playing pretty well, but the pressure, it's got to it.
Has to find a way to step around it, step through it, or just handle it. Because, as you mentioned, he's having a pretty good day overall. Just the hits keep coming and taking those sacks. That's not the way that they want to finish a ball game with a quarterback on the ground so much.
He'd like to stay upright with right. He's been pretty good. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. The last play got just a yard. Here's 6. They stay on the ground. This time it's Johnson. And he'll push his way forward to about the 32. The Lions on 3rd down. 2 for 5 to this point. Here it's 3rd and 3. Wentz going to throw. Open man is Westbrook, complete. And he'll go out of bounds, it looks like, right at the 40. His first catch, good for 8 and a 1st down. Second quarter, 2 minutes to go. Tie ball game. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. There's a throw over the middle. It's taken in by his tight end. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. The catch and run, good for 18 and a 1st down. To throw is Wentz. He's got Njoku, his big tight end. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 11 yards there and a Lion 1st down. Wentz now, pretty amazing. 14 of 16 throwing the ball. It's 1st and 10. Now a quick throw as that's complete on the hitch route. The completion good for 3 and it's 2nd down.
Well, they were unable to make anything really big out of that, but it's not a bad idea to find your tight end and give him an easy completion and keep moving things forward. Almost as bread and butter as a good running back dive play.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Wentz, screen play, Johnson. The Lions now going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the 1st half. Now Wentz again. Going to throw deep for the end zone. He dropped it. Couldn't hang on in the end zone. So no 6 points, incomplete.
That's a good job there creating the contact to force the incompletion. And now, since it's 4th down, that should set up a field goal situation.
And a nice sigh of relief defensively to be able to hold them to 3. Robbie Gould on now to try the field goal. On the right hash, it's a 43-yard attempt. And the 14-year trusty veteran able to knock it through. And they take a 17-14 lead. So the scoring drive encompasses 9 plays, and the net result, 3 points.
Take your disappointment and put it aside. 9 plays. Yeah, they want to end up in the end zone with a touchdown. I get that. But sometimes those 9-play drives pay dividends later with another 9-play drive that culminates in a touchdown when they wear down a defense.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. You're down 3 under a minute to go. How aggressive are you going to be in this spot?
Not as aggressive as I probably would want to be. Only down 3. I mean, it might as well be even going into the half. That's not a deficit that makes me want to push it and potentially make a mistake in this situation and cost myself even more points.
But boy, getting into field goal range and tying it, that's tempting.
Awfully enticing. You almost talked me into it.
Completes it to Fitzgerald. A gain of 6 there on first. Now the Broncos going to use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds to go in the first half. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Here's Hill. And Walker has it. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. And it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 31-yard line. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. On the left hash, this from 48 yards. And Zerline's kick is good. So thanks to the late field goal, we are all tied up heading to intermission. As we send you on out to our studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. The weather might be cold, but the playoff races are heating up here on this final Sunday before Christmas. So let's get to it. We'll start out west at Dignity Health Sports Park in Carson. And it's the Chargers who are out in front. Deebo Samuel, a touchdown reception. From there, we head east to check out the Patriots at home in Foxborough. And you can see they trail the visiting Buffalo Bills in that ball game. A touchdown pass there for Jameis Winston. Lastly, let's check in at our nation's capital. See what's happening with the Redskins at home at FedEx Field. And at the half, they are down to the visiting New York Giants. The Giants are looking to remain perfect and go to 14-0 with only 2 games left after this one. Meanwhile, in our game, no shortage of offense as each team has been able to move the ball effectively. Will the defenses show up in the second half? To find out, we give it back to our commentators, Brandon Cotton and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25. Here comes the Broncos offensive unit here as they'll have it first to begin this third quarter. First half showed us some pretty good offense. Tie game, we'll see what the second half brings.
And it'll be interesting because I think both sides feel pretty good about what their offenses are doing. Got to wonder what adjustments are being made defensively to try and get a spark and maybe slow down the other side.
But here, do you change up anything on this opening drive?
Not offensively, you don't. You got everything going your way. You've probably prepared for maybe some change-ups you might expect, but overall, you like what your game plan's showing you.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
Watch twist. Watch two.
On second down, they'll run with White. White's got a first down and more. It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Bronco first down.
Let's go. Let's go.
That run's successful in large part because they had a lot of extra help blocking up front.
Yeah, you got guys who can do that very, very well. In addition, they can catch the football. So sometimes when they line up with 3 tight ends, it's not necessarily to run it, and that gives you an advantage when you do decide to barrel off the line of scrimmage and block people downfield.
Let's go.
Ready? Hill on first down. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. Umpire threw the flag, usually always indicates holding, and that's what we've got.
And you know, depending on their positioning, where you are on the field, the umpire's got different responsibilities, but always making sure no one's holding.
They'll run with White. If they didn't have that penalty a moment ago, it'd be a first down. Still a nice 13-yard pickup.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
On second down now, it's White. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line. Tackled there. Denver has the first down. The play going for 15 yards.
They're making it look easy out there. Another first down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 first downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success. So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10, right at the 40. They'll try the right side here with White. All told, it's an even 30 and a first down.
Hey, we haven't been around the entire time football's been played, but we have studied our history, and there have been some great backs who've been accused of running out of bounds to protect themselves. Well, back in the day, many people didn't like that. But nowadays, take care of the football, show some intelligence, live to fight another down.
So now, following the big play, they've got a 1st and goal all the way down at the 10. Bell. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. Again, it's Bell. So he got free of 1 tackle, but couldn't do a whole lot else. Call it a gain of 3, but not enough to move the sticks. It'll be 3rd and about a foot or 2.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
Play number 7 coming on this drive. It's 3rd and inches. Hill now to throw. And that's going to be knocked away in the end zone. It's incomplete. Devin Bush, the linebacker, was the one there in pass coverage.
You figure down in the red zone, the play call that's going to come in, find the guy that's most susceptible. It's the guy that you think that you can beat. In this case, they tried to pick on the rookie, and he was actually up to the challenge.
Yes, he was. Solid job knocking that away.
Go. Hey, here I come. Here I come. Here I come. Here I come. Switch. Check. Right there.
They'll run for it. This is White. And he will take it in for a Bronco touchdown. James White with touchdown number 8 on the year as his guys are able to regain the lead. Showing some grits and some guts going for it. Their 4th and goal, pounding it in.
And being rewarded for that confidence in the team, huh? The coach saying, let's go ahead and get this. And how about the guys up front firing out, finding a little bit of a crack for them to get through? Touchdown. I love it.
Now Zerline on and the extra point. And they will take a 7-point lead now. So that drive consumes 9 plays all told. And it culminates in a touchdown by the Broncos. Now after the touchdown, it's Zerline. He'll kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So we get a look at the Lions offense as they get ready for their first possession of the second half. And this game was all square at halftime, but now they find themselves down 7 following the opening drive touchdown here in the third quarter.
And they need to take a deep breath, don't you think? Because right now they might start to feel like they've got to play catch-up here and start matching them point for point. But it's still too early to get there. They can still run their offense. Plenty of time to get back in this game. Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. Wentz now to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Von Miller doing what he does best with a sack. And that sack certainly just strengthening his candidacy for Defensive Player of the Year. You think he's got that one in the bag yet?
I'm not willing to vote quite yet just because I won't wait until the season's over, but he is really tracking towards it. Just look at all the great plays we've seen from him throughout the season. Strength plays that you referenced there, as well as agility plays. They just have not found a way to block him consistently.
The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up. Keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first. Here's Brian Anger now. He's been terrific so far. Here's Jackson to return. 12 yards on the return that time. And out will come the offense as they take over. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. He's had a good performance, moved the ball effectively on the ground. Of course, he has the 1 touchdown.
And when you're able to move it as effectively as you've described, that leads to finding a way into the end zone, and now he's just trying to do it for a second time. And, of course, with that comes additional yardage.
Yeah, looking for additional yardage, and again, that second score here in the third quarter. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. A big pickup of 38.
This is a little bit like baseball here. Strong up the middle. Both sides want to be that. In this case, the offense ended up winning the ultimate battle.
And those big runs between the tackles, that's a little deflating for a defense, isn't it?
It really is, because that's where your strength's supposed to be. You're supposed to be in a spot where they can't make that yardage there. You're supposed to send them outside. Not in this case.
The first play of the drive there is incomplete. Larry Fitzgerald was the intended target, and that'll bring up 2nd down. So line of scrimmage still at 39 on 2nd and 10.
Fresno. He's coming. Double up. He's coming. Double up.
Recon, 132 fighter.
Mike 54. I smell fear in that offense.
Shoot.
Now White. They get 6 here after the incompletion, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 4. In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had a big play to start the drive. Not much sense.
Ready?
Now Hill. A screen to Bell. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. And a screen only good for 3 that time, and it'll bring up a 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
And this one is going to just tuck into the bottom left corner as he gets it to go. And that will push the lead up to double digits now at 10. Well, maybe a little bit of an anxious moment there as that ball got closer and closer, but it does curl in.
Yeah, actually did a little bit of a slow dance there with the left upright, didn't it? But had just enough space, as you said, for it to curl in.
That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And Detroit getting set to go now. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
He'll get a dozen there, and the Lions have a first down. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Now a play fake. Wentz. A battle for it, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Tramon Williams.
Okay, partner, no surprise to you. I'm going to look at this from the defensive perspective. In the rain, you have to be more cautious trying to cover passing routes. Why? The offense knows where they're going with the football. The receiver knows the route he's going to run. You have to make sure you keep your footing underneath you.
Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
On 2nd and 7, Hill, and his throw's going to be incomplete. He was trying to find Deshaun Jackson that time, and it's 3rd down. The first down line at the 34 here on 3rd down. Here's Hill. It's complete. It's Fitzgerald. And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the first down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the second half. So 3 field goals that he's hit now. This last one helps him stretch out the lead.
He's been solid, hasn't he? And he lives up to the adage that every offensive coach has ever said to us. We want to end every possession with a kick, right? For them, it's either extra point, field goal, or at worst, a punt. In this case, it's been 3s.
Here's Carson Wentz now with the rest of his offensive unit heading onto the field. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. But let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense. I think the best offenses love to get the ball to their running backs in open space because they have the ability to make people miss, and they also have the ability to run over people. And if you do that throughout the game, after a while, they might just run through some of those tackles and go a long way.
Well, we saw him shed a nice tackle on that play. On 2nd down, Martin. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
If these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they got to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage will be found.
Now Wentz on 3rd down. And that is incomplete. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's the perfect word for it, precise. Because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
With it is Jackson.
Illegal block in the back. Return team.
So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. So the special teams penalty costs some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10. Hill. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about. This home crowd, they're happy with that call.
I like the way you said happy there, right? The so-called good guys didn't get a call. They feel like it's been that way all afternoon. You feeling their pain?
They finally got one.
Yes, they did.
They go over the middle, and it's complete to start the drive. And they work this well upfield across the 45. That one good for 20 on the catch and run.
It's a nice completion, a little bit of run after catch as well to create the yardage that they got. But it is so tough to cover that route, the drag route, because they run it at varying speeds. Because the key is to create hesitancy on the defender's part.
Always so empathetic for those DBs, aren't you? A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Out of the shotgun, it's Bell. And down he goes at the 49, a 3-yard pickup.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
On 2nd down, it's White. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Block in the back. Offense.
So that one will be accepted.
Still 2nd down.
Go! 60 outlaw. Topper, topper.
They'll run with White. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. No gain on the play this time, and it'll be a 3rd and long situation coming up.
Come on.
It's now 3rd down and
1.
3rd and long. It's Hill. Caught here by Bell. And he gets this to the 48, but no further. Well short of the line to gain. They do get 10 back, but still a ways to go on 4th.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. He punted 4 times in the loss last week as he gets this one away here. 31 yards on the punt there, and the Lions will take over. Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
This a quick pass to Davis. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Mike, here we go, here we go. Louis!
Hey, watch the ball, watch the ball.
On 2nd and 11 now. Wentz. This is the tight end, Njoku. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. The Lions on 3rd down. They've converted a 1/3 of their opportunities, 3 for 9. This is 3rd and 8. Now Wentz. Space to maneuver at the 40. And he's got a man, Corey Davis. And all the way up to the 46. A gain of 19 and picking up the first. Fourth quarter, every drive's so critical, and you figure may only get one more shot after this, so a touchdown's imperative on this drive.
It is, but you also have to think to yourself in play calling, don't hold anything back. Don't save it for the second touchdown. You got the first one for the second one to even matter.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10.
False start, offense.
Maybe anticipating a blitz, and they jumped.
Yeah, and if we saw it, you know that they saw it. The bad guys might have been coming on that play. Had to pick them up, and they jumped.
The false start backs them up 5. 1st and 15. Throwing his Wentz. Got an open man. That's David Njoku, the tight end. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44.
Mike is 59. Mike is 59.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Wentz. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down. The Lions on 3rd down. They're right at about the league average, 40%, 4 for 10. This is 3rd down and 12. And he completes it to Westbrook. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35.
Let's go, boys. Bring it up.
A two-score game, obviously. Every play, every 3rd down, like we saw there, magnified. Big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to 3rd down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
How did he do that? How did he do it? I mean, in this type of weather, it's not just catching it, it's seeing it coming towards it. Maybe that's why he ended up having to go one-handed, but boy, what a catch.
That was a spectacular one-handed grab. After getting stuffed on 1st down, not much better there. 2-yard gain. They're 2 for 2 on 3rd down conversions on this drive. This one tough. They need 9 yards on 3rd down. Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. So a good kick there to polish off the drive with 3 points.
Yeah, coaches always talk about finishing a drive with a kick. 2 of them give you points, either an extra point or, in this case, a field goal.
This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. Here he is, the man taking the snaps under center, heading out for the next possession. And the passing game, I mean, look at the numbers. It's fallen off. When a team is struggling, sometimes you look at the quarterback. When the quarterback starts to struggle, who goes over and picks him up?
Yeah, that's always a big one, isn't it? Usually, there's a quarterback whisperer somewhere. And what I mean by that is, whether it's an assistant coach, whether it's one of his best friends on the team, someone that can get in his ear, get with him and say, all right, my man, what do you need? What's going on here? So there's one person he can lean on. He's going to have to lean on that guy right now.
It's caught by Jackson. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. 19 yards there on the catch and run. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident. Pretty early on, that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. They run the draw play. This is White. Call it a gain of 4, and it'll leave them with a 3rd down and 6 to go.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Now a draw play. This is Bell. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. That one going for a gain of 11 and a Bronco first down.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the fourth as it was way back in the first, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
No gain there on the completion, 2nd and 10. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10.
Push him back.
To throw is Hill. This is complete to Watkins on the slant. They'll get the first down and more inside the 20. That one a gain of 20 and a first down.
Here we go.
Well, probably the only thing he did wrong there was go out of bounds, nursing this fourth quarter lead. You want to stay in, eat the clock.
Yeah, you got to love the effort, the catch, the extra yardage, but you've got to know the situation. Stay in bounds, young man.
Here's a pass swung out left to his running back. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down.
You know what the key to a good screen pass is, don't you?
Bet you're going to tell me. Good blocking?
Well, good blocking eventually. But first is good acting. You want to let the defenders go past you, leak out to whichever side or even in the middle where you want to set up the screen, and then you do your blocking. How about the read, though, by the defensive guys? They weren't fooled at all and actually ran with the lineman to where the play was and smothered it for a loss of yardage.
They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down. The Broncos on 3rd down. They've converted a third of their opportunities, 3 for 9. This time it's 3rd and 3. Hill throwing once more. And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. Deshaun Jackson with touchdown number 12 on the year. And the Broncos push further out in front.
I think it's easy to say mission accomplished on that drive. The goal was to increase the lead. They did exactly that.
Zerline now for the PAT. And that'll make this a 3-score game as the lead moves to 17. Now after the touchdown, it's Zerline. He'll kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And Detroit getting set to go now. And tough to win games if you're going field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. Wentz will try again on 2nd down. The open man here, Renfro. And he'll be out right at the 35. It's a gain of 10 for the Lions and a first down. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Off the draw, here's Johnson. And this defense not giving him anything there. Maybe a yard up to the 36.
Brings up 2nd and 9.
On 2nd and 9, Wentz, and that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of him.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Tramon Williams.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. And as we peer at the numbers, he got off to a struggling start, but since then really found his rhythm.
And I think that comes together with not just the halftime adjustments, but just that quiet confidence. If you just keep doing the things you've been working on, eventually there will be creases. You know, find those gaps in the defense, keep working on them, and maybe what didn't happen very well for you in the beginning of the game starts to open up as the game moves on.
Going on the ground, it's White, and he's going to get it across the midfield stripe into Lion territory. And he's able to get most of what he needed on the carry there. 7 yards on the gain, and it's 3rd and 2 now.
I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you.
Ready?
They'll run it with Bell. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. He needed 3, he got 2. Now that'll set up an interesting situation here on 4th and a yard. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it. Get the first down. Close it out.
So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Now you've got to hustle your guys to the line and get them set. To throw again on 2nd down. Wentz. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in December. Right, it is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake, after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he threw.
They run on 1st down, but it only produces a gain of 2. It's 2nd down now. Demario Davis there on the stop.
6-6. Pull it high.
At the 23-yard line.
Lock it.
On 2nd down, it's Bell. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. 4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave him with a 3rd and about 4 more for a 1st.
Brings up 3rd and 4.
You don't want none. Give it. Pick up the ball.
Watch the edge.
80 weapon.
Here's Hill. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. It's time for our player spotlight right now as we get a look at Carson Wentz. And he has not really been able to have a lot of comfort back there in the pocket. Pressure's been coming at him a lot, hasn't it?
And they've got to figure out how to tamp down that pressure. How do they decrease it? Is it getting rid of the football quicker? You know, shorter drops? Maybe they do something different with their pass blocking and their protection schemes. Maybe you meet them on the line of scrimmage instead of retreating to try and protect your quarterback. They've got to figure...
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by the linebacker, Sean Lee. They were looking for Johnson that time. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
Get ready.
Now.
And they take a knee.
Hill on the keeper. A loss of a yard. Brings up 2nd and 11. at the Lions' 39-yard
Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for Denver, it's another win for them, and you wonder if they want a redo on that one loss as they sit now at 14-1. And they'll get another home date next week as the Raiders will come to town. Meanwhile, for the Lions, it's another loss as they now fall to 4-11. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.